Hello everybody, welcome to another stream and some more League of Legends for y'all. And I'm joined by a very special guest. I'm being joined by Rigger here. He's gonna be helping me with some of the casts here, and he did some Valorant stuff. But now we're seeing what he's capable of in League of Legends.
Hey everyone. Yeah, as he said, I'm Rigger. I'm super excited. Yeah, maiden voyage into the dark pits that are League.
Oh goodness, this man is not prepared. Oh gosh, see, there we go. My chat's drowning me again. Okay.
Well,
Just
I
look,
was gonna start.
okay, look after them while I go get some water and make sure they don't drown me again.
Well,
Screw you, Sebastian.
I'll deliver the unfortunate news when they do. So, sup chat.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Yep.
Okay, I see it. I see
I have
it.
bad news. I have bad news for you.
Yeah, I can see it. Sebastian is sitting here like, ah, thick.
But it's your mod even.
Yeah,
So
he's
the
just
party.
trying to look after me, but like he's like, oh, just hydrate, just drink. He's trying to look after me. But it's like, last time he did this, I took down like a jug of water. You remember how badly that went? Okay, now we got okay.
Just like open up a 6-pack like right now. It's probably gonna
Crack a 6-pack of Volpraise.
yeah. Just get ahead of the
Head of the
enemy stuff
curve,
like.
yeah. Stay
But
hydrated, children.
in between every sentence, you just take a sip.
Yeah, it's like I can't speak. It's like, hi everybody, it's your boy.
Everyone's like, "Hey,
Justin here.
why is he still drinking?" It's like, he has debts.
I'm waiting for the day like I do like an alcohol I do a drinking stream. But it's gonna
Oh,
be I'm gonna make it for bits and not points, because like if I do it for points, there are some very
yeah, you're not
wealthy
making it.
people in my Discord in terms of chat points.
Yeah, you don't wake up the next day if you do it for points.
Yep, that's like you got to do bits. So if you want me to drink, you gotta be willing to like go the whole way. I'm not a huge fan of the whole donating spiel, but if you want to see me drunk, that's the case. But back to the task at hand, ladies and gentlemen. So we are gonna be casting MGC versus Oryx Frostfyre in the NamLoL tournament. Very good start to the week. We're gonna have a lot of games coming up. We've got the Metal States playoffs coming up, which are gonna be hella crazy, gonna be hella cool. We got the likes of ATK, got Royalty, Era, Lost Time, 5 Lonely Men, all up in that winners bracket. And then we got the lower bracket for XVG and Era Aeon. And gonna try and get as many causes on here as possible, make it a very entertaining week for y'all. Gonna have Rigger on here. Is gonna get also gonna try and get Instinct as well as Toby. Hey, thank you so much. Hey, Master M No, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the second tier 2 month sub. Very glad to have you. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Master M Nono has joined La Game Enjoyers. Welcome. Let's go.
Hey,
So,
yeah?
looking at the week that's coming up, like, what are you excited for?
I'm kind of curious to see what's gonna happen in the mid lane, because, and thank you, Leo Shinorayon, for the follow. Thank you for joining us. I'm excited for this this mid lane matchup, because the last time these two teams, I watched them, they both had put a higher priority on the Veigar mid. And on this channel, it has got like a 90% win rate. All the games I've caught up with a Veigar, almost every game is won except for one, and that's, I think, out of like 10 games. So,
Okay.
gonna definitely see a lot of priority there. Possibly could see some more Xayah Jinx action. Possibly the Milio pickups here and there. But then there are going to be some signature picks that are going to be obviously going to be taken away. So Brewmaster likes the Yorick and not likely to get through. And yeah, this is Annie's in the chat. She's saying ban Veigar or FF. Yeah, but it's going to be quite entertaining. I think it's like we're getting closer and closer to the end of the tournament, and we're going to be seeing who's going to be making through the playoffs.
And in regards to the week ahead, are you expecting any sort of spicy games? Are you?
Ooh, yeah, we already got a one. Oh, just joined her 9% win rate and knew immediately it was Vega. Also, hi. Oh, welcome, my man. Welcome. I'm particularly excited for the rematch between ATK and Lost Time. They've just faced each other this on Sunday. And now they're going to face each other again. And maybe Lost Time have got the trick up their sleeve to take the series. But ATK and maybe a bit of a bias, but I think Royalty looking kind of clean.
Tell me more about this royalty team.
So it's made up of a collection of players there. So obviously we've got the jungler Garth. He's been cracked this season so far. I definitely have to say he's zero bias from zero bias Willow. But so we've got Garth. Garth and jungle has been doing superbly well. Got Wabajak. He's also been performing up in that top lane, mid lane. We got Psycho who's been chilling over there with our Spooks subbing in every now and then. We got bot lane, which is... My brain has switched off. Why has my brain switched off? We got Vanzo down the bot lane along with Darkseid in the support role. And they've been performing quite well. They took a game off ATK and then they were almost able to take the series. But ATK just always dominate this scene.
Yeah, it seems like a monolith. I like monolith. I like describing ATK as a monolith. Because they're all over the place now. They're in Valorant and they got to the finals there, and they were like a side that you don't walk in front of. They're the 10-0 already as of the South African League scene.
Yeah, they're kind of like so right now definitely classify them as maybe like the team with the most tradition. Like they got the most impact. They've been around for a very long time. Like in the league scene, they're like the equivalent of like the likes of like Bravado, where they've got international presence as well. Most titles. Willow, bro, what are you even on about, man? Still waiting for the Goth hotfix because that should not be allowed against human opponents. Yeah, I mean he's definitely smurfing. I mean he's going deathless in a 3-game series. The most titles. They have the most titles in Metal State. I mean they've had the title since we started. Nibble only recently taking the title last season, but haven't been having as good of a run so far. They are going to be playing in the winners bracket still, as they did make top 4, but we're gonna have to see on how they perform there.
Okay, yeah, like you said, like ATK and Bravado, they're the dynasty is like the word I like to use. Yeah, Legacy's Kings Dynasty, where they're just all they're just all over the place. They have their hands in basically all the pies, and they sort of keep it up there. And
yeah, they've got plenty of talent. I know a lot of the players are always like so. They have two. We're going to have another spectator tonight. There's going to be, I believe it is Oryx Wraith. He is the player from Cryoclasm. But yeah, so Rigo's got it. I mean, it is kind of like the whole quick shot thing. Is the quick shot who says it's like he likes the word dynasties, legacies, kings. That's his whole thing.
Yeah,
can cast LEC now.
Yeah, easy. I just can't hear the pages flipping, but I have a thesaurus like right in front of me.
Yeah, you got a thesaurus for the word dictionary, just like for like the word dynasty, just flip. Gotta find more. All right, so I gotta just give the cast. Are you ready to go, Rigger?
Yes, sir. Let's get into it.
All right, casters are ready to go rock and roll. So I gotta get the appropriate tunes for us to be vibing to here. We're gonna have some more League of Legends music, but I'm curious to see if this Veigar is going to be an issue, because right now Veigar is one of the most meta mid laners and scales really well, has a lot of value in the team fights, and very likely to see it banned out in this first phase.
Yeah, and also if you sort of ban out those Veigars, you're sort of showing your hand though, but leaning into a more early to mid game composition, because you kind of don't want to face that late game AP mage. So if they do ban it out, we might potentially see what they're looking at. I'm looking at also substitutes like the Orianna, the Asol, stuff that when they get to late game, there's the Veigar.
Yep, first ban.
Immediately. So now your 90% win rate is sort of out the window. And
I mean, it's still gonna hang there because like no one's gonna pick it. But chat seems to think Aurelion Sol, just like you said, Aurelion Sol seems to possibly get banned away here.
Yeah, so there's a lot of AP carries that are really strong right now in the mid lane. I want to see um, what the jungle presence is going to be like. Like you said,
Okay. I don't know
we're
how I
looking at a
feel
lot.
about that ban realistically.
Um, you mentioned earlier that we're talking about like pocket picks and everything. Maybe the Shaco is something. Maybe they've been doing their research and they know that the jungler is a Shaco main. And that rework
Possibly.
Nico's
Like we did
getting
see
out
it
of
in
there.
the one game that they played. Didn't have as huge of an impact, but then we saw you see the Nico ban, but the Nico I think it's possibly just because of the rework that has happened recently. So now she changes to everything and anything, and can be quite the bamboozle.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you either really prep for the champ or you just ban it out. And then I guess without having the time to prep, you're just going to get the Nico out of there. You don't want to play into something you don't know how to deal with. The Rammus, that hyperscaling tank, it's going to get removed from there as we're going to the final bans of stage 1.
Yeah, but so seeing anybody know what happened to the original Kings of SA League, the EN team? I stopped playing for years; they disappeared. That was probably a lot before my time, before I actually became a part of the South African scene. It was more, much earlier. So if any of the veterans are in my chat right now, could give us a bit of an answer. But Wukong and Fizz being targeted away. So a lot of mid lane bans and jungle bans here.
Yeah, Wukong, you don't want that out. You don't want that out of there entirely. I think they're trying to open up for a Vi pick potentially. Because Wukong into Vi, even though it's a winning matchup for the Vi, you kind of don't want to face the Wukong because Wukong can sort of mess up your team. But they're going to pick the Caitlyn. Immobile AD carry, getting the Wukong out of there gives her a bit more safety.
Yeah, but like as you said, I could definitely see a buy pick possibly here. But one thing I'm most surprised of is we haven't seen any of the any Jinx or Xayah priority, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it picked up here, or even as well as the Ashe, because that's also been something being a bit priority in the NamLoL scene. But actually,
Tristana.
Tristana, but that could be a flex pick. That could be flex
Yeah,
mid.
Tristana mid and top as well. If they're opting to pick Cassante, Tristana is a very good matchup into this, but it's Tristana Nautilus. I highly doubt it's a two-way flex. I feel like this is the bot lane showing their hand.
Yeah, I can agree with you, but I mean also the position like we've so much in pro play now. We see like the Norless mid. Like I don't think it's a Norless mid. I don't want to have it be a possibility of a Norless mid, but we got the very simple, very easy Caitlyn Morgana combo being picked up here.
Yeah, basic Caitlyn Morgana. We're gonna see how they develop the draft around it. This is by default a lane that wants to push into a lane that wants to fight. So we're gonna see how they play out that race to 2, and more importantly, when they get to 3, how does the lane develop? As the Amumu is gonna get picked up, assumingly this is an Amumu jungle. Yeah, I think this is an Amumu.
Yeah, it's very likely. Like I don't know. I don't particularly think there's going to be the Morgana and a Mumu flex, where the Morgana could go mid and then the Mumu could go jungle or support. I'm just inclined to believe that it's going to be the very well thought out Morgana Caitlyn, the Amumu, a lot of AoE CC can lock down the Tristana and kind of delay her jump. But what is South African esports without the ZA on?
Yep, we have two of the biggest ultis in the game. That the depth charge and the Ornn's horn into this Caitlyn Morgana. I'm leaning towards this Ornn side. I'm leaning towards this Ornn side. The draft has just developed a lot better in this early phase.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. The Ornn kind of brings the team together. Like Ornn's team fight potential is so big. He's the highest win rate top laner right now. But we see that Lalawi actually manned away in the top lane along with the Ari mid. And then the Asol, not going to get through, unfortunately. I was very excited to see the Space Dragon.
Yeah, we have mid and jungle open for Oryx. So they're going to start pinching that mid lane pool out, banning mid and top, or mid lane pool rather, banning out that Ari. The Asol's going to go as well. So now we're sort of getting into a very whittled down mid lane. There's a lot of picks here. There's the Lysandra for the Wombo combo. Orianna as well is a really good pick in this spot because they don't really have ways to outmaneuver you, but they're hovering the Warwick.
And the sides actually rather go for that Olaf.
Yeah, they're going for the Olaf jungle there.
Yeah, I mean,
and
like,
this flex, but I assume the Ornn's going top side.
Yeah, I don't want to think it's. I don't really want to think it's a flexible pick. I think maybe that's just going to be straight Olaf in the jungle. Can negate the Morgana and the Mumu CC, so it can be really good to run down this Caitlyn.
Yeah, it's. I think it's because they picked Morgana and Mumu that Olaf is just a giga value here. Vex is going to get picked
Ooh.
up here as well. They might have a range problem. Let's see what they can bust out in the top lane. We're looking for anything that can sort of sustain damage in these team fights because you have a lot of HP bars to melt through. Because Caitlyn Morgana is not going to get through an Ornn Nautilus before Tristana gets her resets off.
Like, there really isn't a lot of damage to deal with these tanks, but Mordekaiser is going to be picked up. So that is actually a lot of ability power for, I think it's MGC. This is MGC on the MGC are on the blue side, and red side is Oryx. But yeah, Caitlyn being almost the sole physical damage dealer on this team.
Yeah, so I think they're opting for the pushing bot lane and weak side top. So we're going to see how this develops. I think maybe Drain Tank Ornn is good in this spot, but that LeBlanc sort of seals, puts the nail in the coffin. The Vex is a good pick now. They sort of counterpick themselves, picking that LeBlanc into Vex, but LeBlanc into Morgana, Caitlyn, really, really good. We're gonna see how this goes.
Yeah,
I'm
very
expecting
curious. Like, I'm very like in the early game, I would like to think that Tristana and the Nautilus do have the better lane presence, especially like level 2, unless Morgana does pick up the black shield early on. But we are gonna go to just a quickly chat to get some points in. So, and so MGC, there you go. So 5 minutes, everybody. You can go spend your points, go wild. Make sure the people you are supporting know that you are supporting them with your points. And yeah, what are we thinking on these two team comps?
I'm leaning towards ORX.
Yeah, so
ORX's comp is just a lot easier to play well. MGC.
Yeah. So
MGC is sort of placed in this position where if they play perfectly, there's a way to win this game. If their bot lane gets the prio, their bot lane does all the damage they need to before the enemy comps start running away with it, then they're in a good spot. But any other position and ORX is just going to run away with the game.
Yeah, I'm just like thinking, like looking at these two team comps, like the Tristana and Nautilus, they've got the very, like, in fact, almost their whole team is very snowbally. So all it takes is like maybe one kill on like the likes of an Olaf, LeBlanc, or the Tristana, and they can kind of just carry the game from then forward. LeBlanc picks up a kill, can look for roams. Olaf will become basically just unstoppable. Tristana can really assert her aggression with the rocket jump.
Yeah, I think I'm expecting a lot of mid and gap bot lane ganks, especially jungle invades. Olaf Nautilus invading an Amumu jungle. Caitlyn Morgana can't really do anything to stop that. The only way they can really stop it is by making sure that Nautilus can't move. By pushing him in and making sure that the wave's always under his tower, and giving him a bit more safety. But we're gonna see how this develops. Obviously, stranger things have happened in the early game. I'm predicting a jungle invade. I'm predicting a very heavy jungle invade.
Yeah, I mean, both. I mean, especially with the like Morgana, Mumu, Nautilus, like very easy invade potential here for both teams. But it's all a matter of who kind of lands it first. Like if the Dark Binding connects, even onto like the likes of the Nautilus or the Olaf, it might be a little tricky to take them down. But once again, it's just very much the setup. Like who gets the better setup, who gets there first, who gets the vision down. Are they going to play it defensively, or are they really trying to really press the attack in this early game?
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. This Ornn is the Ornn's a ticking time bomb. I like to think of Ornn as like the minute Ornn gets going, then the game's sort of wrapped up. But Amumu does a deceptive amount of damage, especially into these sort of death ball comps. This Nautilus Ornn, he just needs to tank for long enough to get those tiers doing significant damage, getting those Vex spheres in.
Yeah, and like,
we'll see.
Because like I'm seeing in chat now, so if Morgana is forced to level 1 Q, level 1 to stop the invade, they insta concede the first wave push, which could just be enough for the snowball. But I think you mean E, because if the Morgana takes E first, yeah, I can kind of see that if the Morgana picks up E first, there's not much lane pressure. Like Tristana and all this can just kind of go ham. There's no real threat of the Dark Binding. And then Annie says Morgana is Goth Mama, Vex is Emo Baby, and Amumu is Permasad. Damn, it's just a lot of sad champions. Like, unfortunately, it's just a bunch of people, a bunch of emos. This seems like my kind of people.
Yeah, the Rift is 40 or 30% Yordles today.
Yeah, and there's 30% short people and a 30% emo, which is not as high as I would like it, but it definitely
Yeah,
kind of aligns there. Like the
yeah,
ideal team comp that I like seeing. So you see like the Viego, you see the Aphelios, you see the what's it? So it's Aphelios, Viego, Morgana, Amumu, and Ornn. I don't know, like just like three of like the most like emo champion. Like Viego and Aphelios are so edgy.
yeah. We're discounting Mordekaiser.
Okay,
Mordekaiser's
Mordekaiser is like he's
eighth.
metal. He's metal as
Yeah.
fuck. All right, so we gotta just get the scoreboard up, but I know the client is a bit buggy sometimes, so just make sure to get all the reordering done and dusted. It's nothing new in the South African side, unfortunately. Because wait, wrong. 6'11" short Justin's here. No, screw you, man. I'm not that short. Okay, so we can pause at 2 seconds. Are you there?
I still have the spectator bug.
No, so what you do, just take the time controls, just like flick them around a bit. Like
Okay.
just drag it across and should give you the time.
Sure. Where are we pausing?
2 seconds.
Okay.
So at 2 seconds, so on go. So I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then on go. So 3,
Yeah, I'm on
2, 1, go. All right, awesome, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be finally hopping into game here. Game 1 between MGC and Oryx Frostfyre. And it's bound to be a banger, as we are going to see who is going to get the invade first. Are we going to get the Norless going for that hot dredge line, or is Morgana going to go for the Dark Binding? Okay, so no,
Yeah, you
definitely Q, otherwise Tris E just pushes. Why is it not showing? Okay.
You can see the pings coming through already. And 5-stack bot lane. Yeah, they know this is coming. They 100% know this is coming.
Oh, but there's no wards that have been placed. Oh no, Commander Stark and 2Fly are going to walk right into this. The Northern stands, there's a Q, goes for the engage. Vex does go for the flash, but the LeBlanc will secure the kill with that ignite. But there's first blood over to Oryx Frostfyre.
Yep, not the end of the world. It's only the end of the world if they can manage to secure that bot side vision and bot side control. Morgana did level up Q first, so we're going to see how did they actually manage to contest for this, because it's really hard to push and force for that level 2 without Morgana W.
Yeah,
or to get any like effective poke on until level 2.
Yeah, and kind of getting that lane push is kind of what you want as the Tristana. You really want to try and press that level 2, get the rocket jump, just go ham, and really assert that dominance. So most AD carries do set that kind of state where you have to rush that level 2. But yeah, you just see red start, like both double bot side start, as D-Man actually doesn't have flash. He actually is running the exhaust on the Amumu jungle.
Yeah, it's because Amumu doesn't really need flash, and he probably wonders if there is more risk involved with just exhausting someone. Because even though Olaf is CC immune, he's not exhaust immune. And that exhaust might buy you a very precious 1 or 2 seconds, maybe get your AD carry out of the way, maybe get a kill actually.
Yeah, I mean, the exhaust will get rid of a bit of his damage, so maybe the lifesteal too much, but I think it's just, and then LeBlanc obviously was able to go B shield. They can be up the free pot as well as the Dark Seal. So that's going to be a big threat. And if she's able to really press the attack here, can really make a difference. As you see, Norless does going for the level 2 engage into rocket jump onto Doring. Doring does have exhaust, but does not have no flash now. And 2Fly is going to walk away as well. Now Oryx taking this trade down the bot side.
I think Caitlyn still has flash. Yeah, 2Fly still has their flash and heal.
Morgana being forced to burn it relatively early. Any flash that is burned by the Norless is valuable, because all I'm saying is that anchor is quite terrifying.
Yep, the anchor that defies space-time, as there's a scrap happening mid, but nothing comes from it. I was gonna look, Nautilus doesn't have Hex Flash, so even though Nautilus gets a lot of value out of burning anyone's flash, if he had Hex Flash, this lane becomes supremely more oppressive. But this Tristana and Nautilus pushing in the Caitlyn, but not fully crashing in this wave means that there is no real dive threat or kill threat here.
Yeah, I mean, both the junglers are not going to really be pausing bot side 0, and Augie do have the kind of pressure for a possible dive, but the wave was cleared pretty quickly. As yeah, that's what I mean going with Q. You lose pool to push and poke. Let's see if Tristana can capitalize. Not a fan of flash on Olaf. Feels so inefficient. Nokia has long cooldown though, so if Mrs. Mork has advantage. I mean, one thing's for sure is the Morgana binding is a little bit of longer cooldown. As you see the flash hook coming in onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn having to put the flash. And there's going to be the ignite landing there from Norlis. But 2Fly will make it out alive as having to burn the flash and the heal.
47 HP. Caitlyn survives with 47 HP there as, yeah, this ORX side rather, taking advantage of that Nautilus hook and taking advantage of that early aggression. Morgana's not really a champ if she can't secure that push, and they started Q, so there's no way that Morgana can actually play the game.
Yeah, especially
she's gonna soak up some XP here. Yeah, she's gonna soak up some XP here, but it's really, really hard for this Caitlyn Morgana lane to actually play because their win con is sort of pushing that wave on the turret and just
keeping the poke ongoing. As you see a bit of a kerfuffle mid lane, but Beelzebub will tank a bit of tower. It's gonna be going for the run there, but LeBlanc was going to go for the trade in the flash ignite, and Beelzebub takes down Commander Stark and picks up 2 stacks on that Dark Seal.
Yep, 100 HP again. 2 ignites burns, and no one dies to any of them. But ORX is currently on top of this game, and about 1,500 gold ahead.
So Augie scrapping like a boss.
Yeah, we're about 1,500 gold ahead. As the first drag is up, how do they approach this? There's no real way that you can fight on the side of MGC. Amu is not really a champ until he gets his AP going. You can't really push because you have a pushed in bot lane and no vision in the jungle either, so no vision in the river rather.
I mean, like, Olaf definitely can go for the very early solo of this Drake if he really, really felt like it. He does have the Prior on the bot side and in the mid lane, so a very easy setup for him, but has opted not to, as the Dark Binding does not connect. These are rather unfortunate cues coming out from Doring.
Yeah, now you can see how weird this position is. They can't walk up because Nautilus anchor is such a big problem, and there's a slowly building wave that's not going to properly crash either. So I think it's probably going to freeze under their tower, and now they're in a lot of danger. Olaf just backed, fortunately, for the side of MGC. So there is no threat of actually dying to a gank here.
Oh, but Beelzebub will use the ulti just to pop out of that gank, but now it's gonna go for some damage onto D-Man. D-Man will connect the bandage toss, force out the LeBlanc passive. But now we see Tristana is gonna go for the jump on 2Fly. The dredge line does land, and 2Fly is likely to fall here as the rocket jump is reset. And now Zero picking up his first kill.
Yeah, first kill on the Tristana. Caitlyn has no sums. It's anyone can do the math from there. As top lane, there's a lot of fighting happening. It's just been perma trading every single time the camera pans up there.
Yeah, it's just like always just like a wet noodle fight, like up in the top lane usually. But seeing Mordekaiser is always a fresh breath of fresh air, because we usually always see like the Cho'Gaths, Scions, the Orns, like those sorts of things. But yeah, so we see at this point, yeah, but Tristana definitely counts as a win since she outscales. So Kate really needs to win early, especially with a support like Morgana. True, the best you can do is not feed Triss. Triss always jump away when ganked. I mean, yeah, but Tristana that knows really how to use their rocket jump early, like especially like in an aggressive manner rather than defensive manner, can really set the tone for the lane.
Yeah, now the real question comes. It's a losing situation, obviously, for the side of MGC, but we're gonna turn the tables a bit. How much gold do you think ORX needs to win this game?
I think Oryx needs to make sure they get this gold onto LeBlanc and Tristana, but you see the Norlis anchor going a little bit wide, and 2Fly getting a good bit of damage off, but making sure that the gold is on the likes of Tristana and LeBlanc is kind of the way to go, because they're both very aggressive, very snowbally champions. As you see, Beelzebub's going to go in for the engage, and D-Man's going to look to catch him out. The Vex ulti does go wide, Amumi does not have the curse, the sad mummy. Beelzebub is going to walk away. Is Amumi going to go for the final kill there? And LeBlanc is going to go try to go for more trades onto Stark. We'll get the ignite down. And the burn takes him out as we get a little Mastery 6 flex coming out from LeBlanc.
Yeah, really, really well played there. LeBlanc Distortion was still up, so then when the Mumu actually came in for that gank, they were very unsure about who to actually gank, and I think Commander Stark actually ignited the mirror image of LeBlanc in that fight.
Yeah, and I
No,
think
like,
it's
actually they let the normal one. They were just one auto short because a Mumu was minion blocked and couldn't land his second Q.
yeah, like I think the thing they could have possibly contested for that tower dive. D-Man wasn't able to get that final bandage toss, and if I'm looking at this team, if I'm like, for example, like the 80 carry, or I'm just the low health jungler, that is a very scary mid lane.
That is a horrifying mid lane, but if you're the top laner, you're very happy with this. You're playing Ornn. You've just been perma getting beat down by this Mordekaiser, and you press tab and look and see 3-0 and 0 and 1-0 and 1.
This is probably where the Ornn in the comms is like, guys, I've got an assist and I'm up 2 CS, bro.
Yeah. Let me carry top. Let me carry top.
Oh, so
I'm
now-
2 CS.
But now Augie was gonna look for something bot lane, but it's just kind of zoning them away as the top lane continues to be just a bunch of trading between Brewmaster and Cyberpunk. The Death Realm is going to be opened up. Brewmaster taking on to Brazil. There's on the tanky boy, but we now see the engage happening to the bot side. 2Fly having to burn the flash already. No flash heal again for 2Fly, and Cyberpunk makes out of the Death Realm, and Brewmaster will not go for the dive. But this is already going to be Olaf coming in with the Ragnarok. Brewmaster has no shield, has nowhere to go, has no flash now. As Olaf goes for flash and takes him down into the top lane, but Yelzbub in the mid lane doing a lot of damage with the Commander Stark. And just action, action, action everywhere.
The action in every single lane, but none of these outcomes are favorable for MGC at the moment.
No,
But they're only 4,000 down. They're only 4,000 gold down. It sounds very morbid, but into a Tristana Caitlyn lane, if you're losing as the Caitlyn, anything within 5,000 is a win. They're not actually that far behind. Tristana is only about 1,000 gold ahead, which with the current itemization is a pickaxe, which she's picked up. And it looks like Caitlyn might have free boots. Yeah, Caitlyn has free boots, so that's actually 300 gold caught up already. So it's not all lost. It's just you look at it and you realize you're playing Caitlyn, and how do you manage to melt through a Olaf and Nautilus and an Ornn? That's where the major problem is. As the dive is looking, yeah, there's a
icons are switched around. Oh goodness, I need to switch the icons around. You see the dredge line is going to go in onto 2Fly, but it's going to drop the Morgana ulti, but the bird's coming out from the busted shot as now Beelzebub is on the bot side. Does want to look for the dive, but Doring does try land the like bind, does connect it to the LeBlanc Distortion, but walks onto a trap.
Does the turret shot?
But it's the fake one. It's the fake one. Okay, so I need to real quickly do some switcheroony as I've realized I've mixed up the icons. I do apologize. I see going to be an engage coming in from LeBlanc again onto Doring. But Doring is going to maintain his own there. I do severely apologize for that. My brain is half asleep today. I don't know why. But the teams are now in the right place. Thank you for pointing it out, Annie. I'm very glad that you're there. And also hello to Kempton Park. Shalom, shalom.
Hello, Kempton Park. Shout out Kempton Park.
Yeah,
dude. My Oxford homies.
The homies out from Kempton, but it's just again they're really trying to push this bot lane. It's just already got a very hefty lead in terms of gold as well as CS.
Yeah, and that gold lead has ballooned to about 4,000 as well. 4,007 at the moment. It's almost 5k ahead. As we're going to see some fighting in the top lane, but nothing comes from it.
Yeah, and then even just looking at like where the gold is in general. So we see there's about just over a 2,000 gold lead for the Tristana in the bot lane. LeBlanc comfortably 1,700 ahead of this Vex here. So that is where all the gold is sitting. I think that's exactly where you want your gold to be if you're Oryx. It's now we see, oh gosh, Doring, you don't want to make this rocket jump coming out there. Tristana gets the damage off, does get the jump reset. And is going to do the damage on the 2Fly. Ignite gets dropped out onto Doring, and that's going to be double kill for Oryx's bot side. Olaf is fighting as the movement. D-Man is going to do his best there. Will drop the code sad Mummy. Olaf having to run away. Does not have a lot of lifesteal left. They're really trying to pressure this Baron here, and all this hook goes wide. Tristana goes in to pick up the kill there, and will pick up the dragon as well. This is looking very, very comfortable for Oryx in this game 1.
But you said Amumu. Amumu only has Sunfire Aegis and 1v1'd Olaf while still being hit by Dragon.
I mean, can we like?
So there is hope.
There is some
There is a
hope.
glimmer of hope.
And I think I want to point out some of this Olaf's itemization here. So it has picked up the Berserkers, along with a crit cloak.
Oh, it's Olaf is gonna build BT.
Yeah, he's good. It's crit laugh. He's building crit laugh. So
a lot of Frozen Hearts, Randuin's prio in this game actually.
yeah, would not be surprised if it got this like for the early Frostfyre.
Yeah, Amumu builds any of those items, and this game's just over in terms of just on Olaf.
It will make their lives a little bit harder, particularly due to like the Randuins, especially with the optimization of Olaf getting the crit here. Ornhorn is cool, not going to do too much, but now LeBlanc is going to pick up Dorian, going to drop that Ignite, and now we see General Quest is going to be walking in, going, trying to go for the Q. Vex is there, but LeBlanc will drop the order, will pick up another. 2Fly is caught out again by the Dredge line. LeBlanc will pick up another, and LeBlanc is 5-0 with 9 stacks of this Dark Seal. This is looking rather bleak, not going to lie.
Yeah, it's looking, it's a sweaty palm situation where you look at it, you press tab, and you're like, remake. Because this game's going to get very, very unplayable very, very quickly. LeBlanc is 1 stack away. I think they have enough money. We'll see, does LeBlanc buy the Bible?
Is she gonna get the League of Legends Bible down here?
Is she gonna buy the Bible? No, she buys Ludens instead.
Ah, okay. Well, we might see. I think she's maybe waiting for that 10 stacks and could possibly pick up the Magi's there. But yeah, so now you're now an ADC. Got some lifesteal. Got the Noon Quiver. You now see a LeBlanc who just got like 200 AP at like 200 AP at 14 minutes, and she's gonna absolutely delete you.
But then how do you win this? We have to like ask ourselves, how do we win this? Because we can't just talk about how the team is winning this. We have to talk about how do you come back into this.
You're gonna have to play logistically. You're gonna have to possibly play for that Mordekaiser in that top lane. Caitlyn and Morgana are kind of gonna be out of the game, at least until she's picked up a couple of items. But you gotta play around the Amumu and the Mordekaiser. Gotta be able to try and catch at least 1 or 2 members there in the Death Realm to secure objectives. But also need to make sure you have good vision, because this LeBlanc is going to be playing around the no vision game. His Rage Line does connect onto Dorian. There's going to be a lot of damage coming from the Justana with a Buster Shot. And Oryx going over the wall, picking up 1 there. As now he's going to get the flash out of 2Fly as well as the heal. And again, this is just a really good pick again for Oryx. As now Brewmaster is going to take General Quest into the Death Realm. And our D-Man going to be walking into a very fed LeBlanc. As Olaf is still in hot pursuit of Brewmaster. The Brewmaster is going to be running for his dear life, while LeBlanc is on the prowl.
Yeah, like you said, where this Mordekaiser is suddenly becoming the focus of this game.
Oh, a flash on the tower! And Tristana jumps in, picks up another, and now 6-0 for both these carries. This is terrifying.
Yeah, it's very unplayable, and you don't really have the security of a late game scaler because of that early invade and Morgana not getting their right ability leveled up, so also the lane was unplayable. Just a comedy of errors, unfortunately, and it's very difficult to play this game as the 10k gold lead sings the tale of how MGC lost to a single invade.
Yeah, and like seeing in chat now saying, oh, for sure, I don't think Kate is going to be able to make a comeback. A Jinx or Zaya, I'd definitely say there's a definite chance. Weather the storm, Kate less so. Kate is bow versus Kraken plus Crit Cloak. She can't get within a screen or she just dies. At this point, I just send North to roam through jungle and just have Trist 1v2.
Yeah, if we're looking at Caitlyn itemization, ideally, there's like an adage that goes for AD carries. If you're behind, build damage. If you're ahead, buy defensively. And it comes to like itemization here, and you have to ask yourself, do you troll a bit and buy a bit more extra damage?
Curse's damage is going to be dropped there by the Mumu, plus the Vex dropping in, trying to take down this Olaf. Olaf is trying to lifesteal. But that is going to be a kill going over to Vex, and that is going to be putting another kill on the board for MGC.
Yep, MGC putting the gold on Vex, who I think is, next to Mordekaiser, one of the stronger carry potentials at the moment.
But now we see the Blanc is going to get caught out here. Going to get hit by the bandage shot. It's going to have to flash away, but the D-Man does have the second one. We'll pick up another. As Beelzebub going to walk away, drop that Mastery 6, and he is out of there.
I think Amumu's second bandage was probably 2 to 3 seconds out.
Yeah, I think it was pretty close, but I want to point out, there's an item that the Norlis has got, which I am very surprised because we never see it.
The Vigilant Wardstone?
The Vigilant Wardstone. When was the last time you saw Vigilant Wardstone?
Yesterday when I was arguing about the power of this item. So for the uninitiated, Vigilant Wardstone is a support exclusive item. As we can talk about this while looking at the drag.
Oh, but now we're going to see Cyberpunk is going to be going for the 1v1 here, but Mordekaiser will take it on into Brazil here. Brewmaster going to desperately try and pick up at least another kill here. But On doing so much damage, but the Dragon's going to pick up by Olaf in the bot side while this top lane brawl is happening. Cyberpunk is running for his life. Brewmaster could look to pick up this kill. Does have the E, does not have flash. And looks like Cyberpunk will walk it out. And this is the third Drake going over to Oryx.
Yeah, within Chemtech Soul here. Chemtech Soul and Olaf is obnoxious. Chemtech Soul and Tristana is almost game ending. And unfortunately, Brewmaster couldn't make anything happen in their top lane skirmish. 300 HP was the tail of that fight. Skater's gonna E away. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage coming out from the LeBlanc. Yeah, so winnable, that item is ass, by the way. Wardstone, when you hit his guard tier, you just destroy enemy knowledge from their own territory and make them scared to even go to their own jungle. You see, there's going to be the jump in coming from Zero into Buster Shot, final auto attack. Plenty of confidence in that rocket jump. And that is very securable kill there in the mid lane. Now Brewmaster is going to have to deal with the Rift Herald up in the top side.
Yeah, as this Rift Herald's going to crash, I want to direct your eyes to the scoreboard. 3 people on the side of Oryx have bounties. 2 of those total up to about 1,500 almost.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold.
The
Bible has been picked up, actually. The LeBlanc picked it up. He got the Magi.
Yeah. So this game either ends in the next 5 minutes or it doesn't end at all.
Like LeBlanc is, as you know, Doring is gonna get caught out again by Zero. 8 and 0 now. Well, 8 and 0 with an X, I could say. And I don't really know what you're thinking of right now. I think if you're MGC, you're rather thinking about how you're going to improve in the next game. What are you gonna do in game 2 that could possibly bring you back into the series?
If I'm MGC, I'm realizing this game's lost, but you kind of want them to win the game. You don't want to give up. You want them to win the game as convincingly as they can. Because if they can't win this game convincingly with almost 10,000, 11,000 gold lead.
Yeah, but now see the Mordekaiser once again going to take on into the Death Realm. The D-Man is going to be there. Going to lock down Cyberpunk. He does not have flash. Brewmaster is going to get caught get the 1 kill, but it was, but he didn't. And then went over to D-Man.
They're looking at a dive bot lane. There's 3 people here. But Vex is here sort of dissuading that a bit.
Oh, but Darkbind does connect onto the Nolus. Nolus not able to get too much, but the wall! My goodness, LeBlanc! Calm down, sir! Absolutely annihilates that Caitlyn and almost kills Morgana on top of it. Oh, but the Ignite comes up from Stark, picks up 1.
Dies, last tick kills Nautilus.
Now see Olaf is going to go for that hot 1v1. Has got the shield, but has already flashed over the wall, but it's going to get immediately feared away. Beelzebub's going to have to run here. Some very high health bars, and she does not have much health left. So Mumu really wants to go for that bandage toss, but that's a lot of gold to give away if you're LeBlanc or Tristana.
Yeah, a lot of gold. I want to direct your attention. That Vex Q, I think, did 400 damage, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Vex Q did 300 and something. To 2 people, about 800, almost 1,000 damage.
Oh, but I see Tristana is just going to go for that jump again. It's going to not going to get the bandage shot. It's going to flash forward. It's going to pick up another. The rocket jump has been reset. D-Man not able to lock it down. General Conquest going to be there to slow down the Mr. Amumu. Does not have flash. Has the exhaust. Has not used it there. The Darkbind connects from Doring, but there's a lot of lifesteal there. As he's going to go in for the re-engage with Zero. Picks up his 10th kill there. The shield bow will block the ace in the hole. As 20-4, and they're holding on. They're holding on for dear life.
Yeah, but like I said, you kind of want them to win the game. You don't want to give it up though.
Yeah, so like we see this.
If they can't win the game with 12,000 gold, then the rest of the series looks pretty bright for you guys. It's this first loss is just a sort of stumble.
So now LeBlanc is going to be able to pick up another 18 stacks on the Magi's. Tanks some more tower shots, but that's kind of just as a little bit of a BM. But you see, if I'm MGC, I'm putting high prior on the Xayah and going better support choice. Someone like Rakan, obviously, or Karma. I can agree. Rakan is quite mad. I'm surprised that we didn't get the Rakan there. As now on is going to be taking the fight to the Mordekaiser. A lot of damage coming out into Brewmaster. He's going to have to be careful. takes Cyberpunk into the death realm, but I don't think he wins this. Ornn has
He does
got the
have
Jack
Riftmaker.
upgraded Jack Show.
He does have Riftmaker though. Mordekaiser with Riftmaker is going to try and
Ooh,
heal
a
up
lot
a
of
lot of
damage
his
there, but
damage.
the bomb coming out from the Ornn, so much
One
damage.
HP, 1 HP, a minion auto. Minion auto kills.
Gotta walk it out. Gotta get the shield. Get knocked up.
Literally
Ornn is still going. Oh my goodness, Brewmaster.
Level up saves Brewmaster there and gives him 200 HP.
And now LeBlanc is just like LeBlanc going into that one shot, but Brewmaster somehow surviving that. My goodness, what is that?
Mordekaiser's Riftmaker did 500 bonus true damage that fight, and he almost won that.
That's
In comparison
mental.
to Jack Show, which only healed about 350. So there is hope, but it's a bit far gone.
It's a bit far-fetched as now the soul is going to be locked in here. That is the Chemtech soul, but Captain might be like, NamLoL should receive a warning for this build. Man's really not liking the Vigilant Woodstone, is he?
The only problem with Vigilant Wardstone is it relies on XP as a movement is just gonna die and Zero is gonna go legendary.
Yeah, man. Zero is too strong at this point. As NamLoL goes for the flash, lands onto Brewmaster. Vector's connect the ulti onto the Tristana, but will rocket jump immediately away. He's gonna kite that out so well. The knockout coming out onto Brewmaster's gonna try and run away, drawing, kiting it out. Does roll back shot on herself. But then Two Fly's gonna get knocked up, and the Mordekaiser gets locked down by this LeBlanc. 24 stacks on the Magi, and she wants that 25th stack. It's not the Oryx gonna be quickly taking down the Baron. Very, very cleanly from them, but
Hunting doesn't find anything. We're gonna see. In terms of dominance, we want to look at 5 minutes from now. What does this game look like at 30 minutes? Can ORX close this game out with Baron within 5 minutes with the Tristana that's 30-0? If not, we start asking questions about what does the side of MGC look like with the hyper carry instead of this Caitlyn.
yeah, like what would they do if they had this gold? And if they're able to just rotate this easily, but oh no, but Dorian's gonna be walking into unwatered zone, and that is a lot of damage from LeBlanc. The 25 stacks on the Magi's have been acquired, and yeah, I don't really know what to say about the LeBlanc. That is like my worst nightmare. That is actually just my worst nightmare.
Yeah, no, genuinely, stuff of horrors. Caitlyn's gonna do no damage because
Yeah,
of the mortal
Caitlyn, and
shield,
Caitlyn takes in way too much damage as the Norlis does not connect the dredge line. Vex doing a little bit of damage, and Mordekaiser's getting the drag, but Rocket Jump coming after Tristana, gonna knock them away. D-Man is gonna be taken into... No, not D-Man, the Mordekaiser will take Ornn into the Death Realm as the LeBlanc takes down the Moo. And then Brewmaster's going for the chase onto the Norlis, not being able to pick it up as LeBlanc shreds through that little Mordekaiser boy like butter. And they are gonna open up the base here.
A story of mid and bot lane. You just push in this mid. You push this mid in here. You go bot lane, collect that bot one while taking the top one, and next waves come through, and you sort of end this game at 28 minutes.
Yeah, and like we see, gonna give myself a pat on the back for pulling this bot lane outcome in champ select. I mean, you can go for it. Like the thing is, it was very well instrumented coming out from Oryx. They definitely would push the lead well, but LeBlanc is gonna get caught up by the Vex ultimate, gonna get the dash there, but there's gonna be the shutdown actually going over to Commander Star.
A 1,000 gold shutdown here. Tristana left, so they actually didn't get as much as they could possibly
That is
get.
spicy. Now Vex gonna go for the reset. They're gonna go for Cyberpunk now. A lot of damage coming out. The ulti coming out from the Caitlyn, but Ornn is gonna make it out there. But then Commander Star picks up another.
Dies to ignite there. 34,000 gold. They have 3 more minutes. What does this game look like at 30 minutes is the big question.
Ew, I mean, I'm definitely looking at this gold lead right now, and I'm like, yeesh, that is 18,000 gold.
It's 18,000, but it was almost 22,000 before this fight started.
Yeah, so
So
that
we're
extra,
gonna
like,
see how they
1,000
play
gold,
this.
like, leeway coming out from the LeBlanc, as well as a bit from the... I mean, the shutdown is still available from Tristana, but Tristana at this point, she can just delete anyone in her path. She has no fear. Like, we're not be
Yeah,
surprised if she just goes for that rocket jump right now into Brewmaster. It's gonna just go for that auto, Halo Blades, triple proc. We're gonna get the flash forward, and it's gonna get the immediate jump out from Zero. Very brave coming out there. As then the North gets hit
little
by the
gunner
dark
over there.
binding.
General Conquest is
He
going
flashed over the wall, gonna go for D-Man. Gonna do
D-Man has
a
no
lot of damage, but Zero locks them down.
Yeah, D-Man has no mana. You just turtle here. You just turtle. You give up.
You just sit there, you just take the L, man. You just turn her over and it's like, like tongue out and
Right now-
everything.
Right now, if I'm playing Caitlyn, I'm sitting there and realizing I can't catch up in gold. It's physically impossible. I just need to catch up in XP. Because Caitlyn at level 13 gets her 100% crit conversion on a passive.
But
We start getting those final ulti upgrades. A lot of free XP here. If a fight starts, they lose the game, but
yeah, I mean, like, all three inhibs are down. The super minions are going to be leading in as Red Line does connect onto Morgana. After gets deleted off the Rift. Ornn goes for the knockup, does not connect. Caitlyn is going to try and do some damage. It doesn't do too much. Vex does connect. The ulti is going to go in there onto the Tristana. That could be that's where he's supposed to get the goal, but that is a lot of damage going from Zero. Olaf is going to be there and does not have the Ragnarok, but Zero is absolutely untouched on this Tristana. Has got the Wormfall and Sacrifice as well. It does look like Frostfyre are going to be closing out this game.
yeah, unfortunately, a really unfortunate bot lane outcome and really well played from Beelzebub and Zero to capitalize on the lead that they had. 17-0-7 and 15-1-5
Oh, that
is the score.
That was terrifying.
I think they have maybe 6 or like 33 to 34% kill participation between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean the two of them. I mean that's definitely the damage. That's they got the gold exactly where they needed to get their gold. They got it onto that LeBlanc. They got it onto the Tristana. They were chilling. Ornn can kind of just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. He didn't really need to. He didn't really need to get fed. He kind of just had to like wait till level 14 to give out some of those juicy Ornn items.
Hell, he don't even need to participate.
Yeah, he just vibed really. But just looking in chat here. So honestly, I would keep the Vex. I think she had okay, teams really need to approach previous needs to know what they're up against. They would have known Oryx is very aggressive in the bot lane. Also, I'll keep the Vex. I think she had an equal or ahead bot lane. She would have had a much big impact. I think they did. They went with the OG early domination bot combo. The big issue was that Morgana was forced to level Q at 1. And that was where the game was lost because they could not push, get level 2, and punish just on a North lane. Just seems completely wrong. Boost Dom Twitch, those bots were hard. Okay, big mouth brew. You ready? You're gonna put more of that gameplay where your mouth is, my man. I don't. But who are you in game, if I might ask? Thank you for the support, Oryx Frostfyre. Well, it's always a pleasure. I love streaming some League of Legends and love it's the best way I would spend my evening. I would spend my evening casting League of Legends over like drinking with the boys. Or just in general. Well, just drinking. Not if the boys were here, it would be better. It would be much better. The boys casting League of Legends, but I think the main thing I was trying to say is I'd rather be here than be out drinking.
Oh,
it's just it's so calming. I'm just in my warm little room. It's in front, got everything here. Got all my food and all that jazz. But GG sub gap.
Everything is at peace here. But yeah, we start seeing the trash talk come through, and we're like, how do you stop this? What do you do?
You need to back. I think you need to fight this. Like, you can't just take this kind of smack and then not do anything about it. Captain Park, he is on the hunt. You're about to get an essay, August. Yeah, Captain Park's about to like rip people to shreds, but it wouldn't be anything new because Captain Park does that in real life as well. I'm reporting you to Riot for that build.
But yeah, well, what do we look at? We're looking at I don't think Tristana is worth the ban. I don't think Nautilus is worth the ban. What do you pick based off of what's open? What do you pick? Like, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, do we want a hyper carry? Do we want to weak side top a bit more? Do we want a strong side jungler? There's a lot of questions you have to ask after this game.
They kind of have to be able to get the right setup. They have to see what is their priority going to be. Like, are they going to try and... I think they should legitimately try and look to play through the mid lane. Give a bit more utility over to Commander Stark. I think he's got a lot of capability of carrying. Especially showing some sparks of life with that Vex in the last game. I just hope we get to see some more of that.
Yeah, carrying mids seems like it's the way to go and sort of weak-siding your bot lane. But the way the meta is and the way the itemization is, you kind of don't want to weak-side your bot and handshake that and let them other teams scale for free. Sorry. So what do you do? What do you do? Do you put Fly You on, or two Fly for You on a different champ? Do we
Yeah,
give the support slightly more agency? Do we give the jungler something slightly more proactive? Um, I don't know if D-Man can play anything like the Nidalee or potentially the Elise.
yeah. So I
Elise
think.
into the game that we had would be like insane.
Yeah, so I think so. Seeing chat now, I think you have to try and get Xayah here. Maybe think about a ban on LeBlanc. Don't ban Trist because they are the ADCs that do the same.
I agree, but kind of, or in parts. I think you get Xayah and you sort of shift everything into a different direction. Xayah's Xayah into Tristana is a winning matchup for the Xayah because Tristana wants to jump into the Xayah. Xayah just ulties out and feather calls, and now Tristana's in the middle of her entire team.
Yeah, like that's kind of the Xayah would be a very big, heavy priority. I know a lot of chat were mentioning that earlier, so curious to see if that is going to be the case. But we got Annie saying they just lock in the ASOL.
Yeah.
I mean, it
No,
was
and I
left.
feel
It was left up until the second ban phase, so maybe they put priority on it for Commander Stock and let him play what he's comfortable on.
yeah, it's definitely different drafting also might potentially help here. Dropping a lot of the 80 carries to second phase because you know they're going to be left up, and you can't really ban everything. You can't really ban all the good ADCs in first phase without like completely screwing over your team. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see potentially like picking support AD on 2-3 instead of first. Gives your team slightly more flexibility into developing your draft. Maybe committing to what they want to commit to. You see the Nautilus Tristana, you lock in a Moom and you don't lock in Morgana this time. So we're gonna get into draft and we're gonna see what lessons have MGC learned from the last game.
Yeah,
Their blue side, they get first pick.
So they are going to
and
be, yeah,
first
it's
pick.
going to be a change of pace. Yeah, so now we see it's going to be the Vega once again. What, like, I don't know. What is the series on this channel without a Vega ban? Or Vega pick at least. Oh, but come on, man. I mean, fair enough if the Shaco is scary, but I don't think it justifies a ban. Like, not in competitive play, because he thrives off the miscommunication of other people rather than them being able to communicate. Oh, like, Shaco's over there, she's over here. Like,
Yeah, we're getting very similar bans here. Veigar, Nika, and Shaker gone on 1-2-3. Alawi's gone as well. Alawi was a second phase ban,
yeah,
so
so they
maybe we're
have.
gonna get a lot more top lane prior to the first one.
Oh, and they actually take the Aurelion Soul away from. Well, Stark actually bang with Aurelion Soul on their own, so not gonna be on that
maybe
the hyper scaling mid.
hey, let little bro cook. Okay, he
Let
might
him
have
cook,
something.
bro.
Yeah, let little bro cook. He might have something in the pot here. I guess Alawi and Shaker gonna be banned. What's their last ban?
Shaker 100% getting banned, so their own team don't pick a Kappa. Hey, okay,
And,
so Rakan now making it through in the ban phase, showing a bit of respect to that as a
Leona's gonna get
Leona.
picked.
Already
But
a big change of pace there in the bot side.
Thresh and Nautilus are still up. Do they pick any of these combinations? Rakan's gone, but that doesn't really dissuade the Xayah pick. It just dissuades certain jungle picks here. So we're gonna see how does this go. Oh, maybe jungler in the works as they're deliberating down to the last second, and they're gonna pick the Ezreal.
Much safer pick than the first game.
Ezreal Seraphine is potentially the look they're going for. This makes the Leona pick quite redundant. You kind of want yourself a Karma here, but you can still potentially pick up a Karma in the top lane. As D-Man is we're gonna go to the second stage of picks.
I mean,
You
the
kind of want jungler.
Ezreal, yeah, looking at the Ezreal Seraphine, it is a very, very safe lane. It's very different to what lane they just played now. They're going from the Tristana and all this, like, Seraphine Ezreal. Kind of just going to be sitting back and farming, as now that the Volley Bear... No, it's going to be the Ram Dog coming out for D-Man.
All you have to do is stand in the middle and tank autos. A Vayne is going to come through. We want to play for 25 plus. That's what MGC is saying here.
Yeah, they want to play that scaling, so it's kind of... The Vayne, I think, picked early in this phase is quite a smart move. It kind of negates any of those hard health scaling tanks from being picked up, so... Gotta think twice before you pick up the likes of the Ornn, or even as much as the Scion. But even like the likes of Sejuani already, like Vayne's getting more and more valuable with this the longer that this champ set goes on.
But the big problem is Vayne has to hit, and if they pick anything else that enables more range, then Vayne's gonna find it really hard to hit because Seraphine Israel is so pokey, immensely pokey.
Yeah, and they've just got the big rage advantage. Range Vayne against Seraphine, that is an ego check if I've ever seen one. I mean, fair enough. Like, the range that Seraphine and Ezreal have over the Vayne is kind of tricky. Like, realistically, if I was looking into this, I would have either opted for the Jinx or as much as even possibly a Caitlyn. Just to,
This
like,
might be a
kind of
Vayne top.
counteract it. Or even a
We are-
Kai'Sa.
Yeah, this might be a Vayne top. We are completely discounting the potential for this to be a Vayne top.
I already discounted it because I don't want to see Vayne top, bro. It is the epitome of all top laners.
If I'm the side of MGC, I'm gonna wait till the bans go.
I mean, they've
lot
already
of-
banned around
there's
the
a lot of-
Mordekai's and that Yorick, so the Vayne top pick could be a potential for Brewmaster.
Yeah, Vayne top is kind of smurfy as the Vex is gonna go. They dump that mid lane to second phase and kind of getting a pinched, but the mid lane pool's wide open. I'm wrong. The mid lane pool's not wide open. Veigar, Acel, and Vex are all gone here. What's left? We have Lissandra, maybe. We have Orianna still.
The Seraphine realistically could actually also be mid lane. Like, this could be a
The
Seraphine
Seraphine can be
mid,
mid.
and they could be
It might be
flexing the
mid-
Israel with something else entirely.
Yeah, Vayne top is an option. Senna is still open. I do want to remind you, if we're talking range, Senna is still open. If you don't want to pick the
wait.
Jinx,
It's
yeah,
the battle
Malphite's
of
gonna
it.
get
It's the
lots of
battle of the tanks. Oh, I got the
So is
Rammus
Vayne-
and the Malphite pickup. Mike.
Rammus and Malphite in a single game, we're gonna have 600 armor between two people.
What are you
at
talking?
least.
Those are rookie numbers. It's gonna be like 1,000. Like,
Yeah, pre-Jack show, pre any like mitigation and buffs and stuff. As we're gonna get to the next pick, Malphite's picture, Jax is really, really good. Vayne and Jax, two very racist components of this draft, but
very racist component.
yeah, I really like the draft. There's a lot of team fight power here with that Leonis, the solar flare coming down. Vayne and Jax just free hitting, especially if Jax can manage to get some flanks on this Ezreal Seraphine. Can't catch the Ezreal, but can catch the Seraphine.
Yeah, and the Jax is also that more late game security for them, particularly. And then the Diana. Wait, okay, so that's okay. I got confused for a second, but that is gonna be Diana mid lane coming out for Commander Stark.
Or if they're really spicy, it's a Diana jungle. It's a Vayne mid lane and a Jax mid.
Yo, that
Or
would
it's
be
a
spicy.
Diana jungle. Yeah, if they're really spicy, that Rammus goes top
Ooh.
lane to Malphite.
It would be like the Balth strat, but they really need to be careful on what they pick here. They can't really look at picking any more AD because then that Rammus pick gets more and more valuable. So seeing the Syndra come out, kind of rounding it out with that burst mid lane, and yeah, I like it.
These drops are very, very confusing. They're very, very confusing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I want to say I'm a little lost on what the some of the objectives are. So can kind of see the Diana synergy with the Rammus and the Leona. A lot of AOE, a lot of hard engage. But and then the Malphites. I guess there's a lot of the Wombo come from Malphites as well. Seraphine could really set up quite nicely. But Hydra brother saying Vayne jungle incoming Kappa. I mean, if that man's playing Vayne jungle, like I tip my hat off to that man. Played it before. It's not pretty.
Let little bro cook and eventually comes up with Vayne. Yeah, very, very weird. I don't know who I'm siding with. I like Leona. I liked Leona until Seraphine got shown. And then I liked Vayne until Malphite got shown.
Yeah, like it could like even it could have been like, okay, so I'm just looking at them lock in all in their positions, so that is solidifying them where they're gonna be. So 2 flies on the Vayne now, D-Man on the Rammus. So we're not getting any of that fancy stuff, unfortunately, chat. No Vayne jungle. Cries real tears.
No, Two-Fly could still go jungle. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, he could.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rammus ADC. Yeah, Rammus ADC.
Is he Rammus ADC? We got the Jax mid. Like, okay, so gotta favor Oryx in the draft. Overall, just a more solid team comp. MGC needs to play perfectly, and even then, it's just gets stopped by Syndra E. That is true. I mean, the Syndra was very good counter pick into majority of this. Can kind of just use the Scout of the Week to to knock away the Leona as well as the Rammus and give a lot more space over to the likes of the Ezreal, who's already got his E as well as Flash in most of these situations. So trying to lock down this Ezreal is going to be a lot trickier for MGC.
Yeah, 100%. When you pick that Diana, you sort of have to like tunnel on one person, and the only person you realistically have target access to is Seraphine. Out of the entire team, you pick Seraphine and you try to get on top of her. We have Sejuani stun, we have Ezreal EQ, we have Syndra stun, we have Malphite rock up. Like Diana's dead on arrival. Jack's same, Rammus same. Like there's no real way for them to
Dead
engage
ass.
this
A
team.
Yasuo mid would have not been bad. Dead ass. Looking at the Sejuani, you got the Syndra, you got the not Syndra, but like you got the Malphite Sejuani. Those are some really, really good synergies for the Yasuo. So I wouldn't have been surprised if it was possibly thought of, but again, no full AD into the likes of a Rammus or a Leona.
Yeah, but you also look at it and like there's always one piece that you could substitute, but the draft evolved in weird ways. Aphelios instead of Vayne probably smurfs this entire game. Aphelios Conqueror just free hitting this entire game is almost an easy dub, or Xayah or something. They opted for the Vayne, which is in the right direction. We want something that scales late.
Gotta hide the whole family. Don't like hide your sister, hide your mom. No, they scary. Gotta hide the whole family. Yasuo against Rammus and Jax. No thanks, lol. I mean, yeah, that's true. I just wanted to say, like, before a lot of the stuff was picked that maybe it would have been considered, but at the same time, like, I don't really think it would have had as much value as I initially thought. Like, I'm thinking, I see, like, you see Malphite and everyone's like, Ahuga, that is a Yasuo. But yeah, and then
we're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see how it plays out. Maybe they have something. Maybe they have something in the kitchen. Maybe they have like a game plan. Maybe there's some set plays. We don't know until we get onto the Rift.
Yeah, so we are going to be hopping over onto the Rift now. But looking forward, Aphelios would have been good, but I think Xayah would close all their shortcomings. Yeah, again, like the Xayah definitely should have been picking up a little bit more priority. They banned away the Rakan, but again, I don't know why there hasn't been a Xayah. Xayah would have been super useful here. We got some pretty spicy skins in this game. Whew, okay. Got Brewmaster on the Prestige Conqueror Jax. Prestige Battle Queen for Commander Stark. And then we are already in game. We don't even need to do the logging, the syncing.
Yeah.
Okay, that is gigantic.
Rito smiles on us today as we get into this this game 2 of MGC versus Oryx.
Ooh.
Hopefully take us to game 3.
We really everyone loves having a game 3, and I think that is definitely the kind of content that people would enjoy. But now let's just see how the setup is going to go as we see Invades coming out from both. Well, no, Invades actually going to be dropping a ward and look for a counter. But now Donovan's going to walk into a put. The Malphite going to get hit by the cheese wheel. Flash from the Sejuani with a Q, but no value. Leona going to go into the E. Oh my goodness, it is chaos. Flash coming out from General Conquest. Maybe a bit of a confidence in his team there on that follow-up, and that is now no Flash on the Sejuani.
Yeah, but on the other side of the table, Leona now starts at E, which kind of makes us a bit awkward into this poke lane. We ideally want W, just so you can absorb some of that poke. Be healthy for that level 2 all-in that's probably going to come, but Vayne's also there, so...
Yeah, like
all in all, sort of handshaking everything, and the only thing MGC loses is nothing, actually.
They lost literally, they didn't really lose much, but now looking at China, Oryx won in Champions League again. If you really want to pick Vayne, you keep it till second rotation, make sure you get Vex. Any team is not banning Vayne ever, so know you're getting in. Also, you want to wait for enemy pick before committing to a short range carry. Drafting is an art, it seems. I mean, it is.
There's so many variations in which you sort of bait them out into picking that Ezreal.
Like you can really you can really look to like force a particular pick by banning out certain champions, or because you kind of know what kind of niche picks are meta, but then there's always going to be that one or two that kind of get picked out because the player is so good on it. So Example I like using is Hans Sommer's Draven. It's not a meta champion, but if you give Hans Sommer to give Draven Hans Sommer, that is not English.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's gonna pick it. Yeah, regardless, he's gonna pick.
He's good. He can 1v9 on it, and maybe this is what they think that this Vayne is. This Vayne goes for the early leap forward, but
Yeah, 3 minions to level 2 actually.
Very long way
Level 2
away
in
still.
bot lane is the first 9, so the entire first wave, and then the next 3 melee minions. There you go. They finally hit 9 minions worth of XP, and they get level 2. A bit late, but sort of dissuades it. Good wave state for an engage if you wants to look for one.
yeah, and now looking at it, like, we see a lot of battling going up here for Brewmaster. Really wants to try and keep the pressure up, but Cyberpunk just churling the cheese at the Jax, yeah, but he's gonna run out of mana really quickly. You gotta manage your cheese wheels over there in the top lane for Malphite. Runs out of mana quite quickly. And now we see
Diana getting a lot of prior into the Syndra, but her health bar is getting very, very low.
yeah,
here.
now Syndra's gonna go. Like, it looks like it's gonna be the hard 1v1. Beelzebub's gonna burn the flash, and that's first blood going out to Commander Stark.
Yep, Commander Stark, you can ban my Vex, but you can't ban my Diana, and it's first blood, actually.
Yeah, there's already the Donovan already trying to assert some of that pressure, just walking forward. Does have the level 3. This holding a lot of pressure there. Gonna get the engage onto that Ezreal, but Ezreal will use the Arcane Shift to get out of there, and Donovan takes a big chunk of damage.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication there, as Vayne was currently in the minion wave, while Donovan was looking for that E in. But having to burn that Ezreal really long cooldown shows how much threat this bot lane actually has. And how confident they are about approaching this. As top lane looks kind of frozen. Brewmaster's in a very dangerous spot as Sejuani's top lane.
Ooh, the condemn coming out from 2Fly. Gonna get the poke off, but at what cost? That is so much damage. Zero Eing forward. Donovan has got flash. Zero is gonna try and kite this out. Doesn't have the Arcane Shift. Vayne is gonna get Zero's gonna get ignited, but we'll pick up one. As 2Fly does try and pick up that trade kill. As that will not happen. And Zero picks up a double in the spot side.
Zero picks up a double, 50 HP. One more tick and Ignite kills there.
Yeah, and that's just...
Unfortunate.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's just unfortunate.
Leona went in, managed to stun the Ezreal, but Vayne had taken almost the entire health bar and damage. In one instance, as Rammus is fighting Sejuani.
And this is just gonna be tank combat, but Sejuani does have the better engage now. His D-Man doesn't have the aftershock. We'll have to back off. Or Brewmaster. Malphite is kind of just standing there. I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of just standing there, bro.
Jax can't really do anything because his wave was frozen, so he just has to let this push. And there's a lot of low health HP minions.
Diana's just really wants to try and go and put some more trees onto the Syndra here. The Brewmaster. Does land the Q. But can't see any engage.
Diana does have Conqueror, so she kind of wants those fights to last for quite a bit. So her Conqueror procs and she gets all that up to force. Syndra just wants to sort of kill her in these.
But Malphite dropping unstoppable force on the Brewmaster. Whew, that was a quick flash there.
Yeah, very, very spicy. Very, very spicy.
I'm just gonna keep an eye what chat's saying. So, TBH, if you really wanted short range hyper carry against Comp, Samira is a good alternative. That being said, I would have avoided altogether. This is also Vayne, no flash, and is still having his. That's rough. Oryx jungle should have used the bot lane next 5 minutes. As Cyberpunk just drops the cheese. He just dropped the cheese on him.
Throws a cheese wheel and Jax sort of stops dead. But a lot better condition, obviously. At this point in the first game, Tristana was 4-0 and 2, I think, or close to it.
Well, very relatively, yeah. And so I think a bit of a bounce back from MGC. As Sejuani is not going to be looking to start up that dragon already. Has picked up Crystalline Bracer and probably can do it. Does have the prior with the Ezreal and the Seraphine. And yeah, she's just gonna keep going at it. She's taking a little lower than she would have liked to be.
Yeah, any damage.
It's gonna be close, guys. It's gonna be real close. She's 1,300 HP. It's gonna go get some healing quickly. Oh my goodness, it's so close. Now, but Donovan's gonna catch out General Conquest. Gonna go for that stun. We'll get the stun and we'll steal the dragon.
god, Leona is not just your healer.
Leona, what is Leona coming here absolutely smurfing with that dragon? What are you
Well,
doing, Conquest?
Leona's not your tank, she's also your jungler, as Leona managed to steal a dragon there. General Conquest smited it and brought it to 1 HP, by the way.
Yeah, it's literally 1 HP.
Leona killed it with an auto.
Leona going in again. Leona, the absolute Giga Chad, going in for the fight here. But Oryx Zero doing so much damage over there. They'll be coming out. D-Man is going to be backing them up. But we also see Sejuani's making the way bot side. The E coming in. And 2Fly picks up a kill onto Augie. As Zero is trying to tank out, but Donovan is going to burn the flash. You see General Conquest going to get towards away by the Rammus. Fly taking so much damage. Does not have flash. Does not have heal. And is going to try and make it out alive as Zero will lock them down. Stuns coming out wide for Donovan. But
Stock's coming.
Stock's on his way. Yeah, he's coming. He's looking, trying to back them up. He does have the Moonfall. Could take down Zero here. The Q does not land. D-Man is going to spot out one. Zero is going to be away as the Moonfall connects on General Conquest. But they do not want the Sejuani. They want Ezreal. But Commander Stock is going to be able to take down Sejuani anyway, as D-Man is going to be shut down by the Ezreal. And he's on a rampage. And he's going to run for his dear life, man.
Vayne's running interference, trying to run, but now Commander Stock's just going to go bot lane, catch that wave. A lot of fighting, a lot of really intense fighting in this early game. And MGC taking these small victories. D-Man staying alive for so long enough that Commander Stock could get there. As 3 people are going to go bot, they're going to drop that mid wave, potentially hoping to grab some plates. Turrets get increased resistances based off the people around, so someone should possibly leave.
But we do see this. You see now that it's Commander Stock is going to remain there. I know he's going to pick up the plate, but don't know how valuable that is. As Beelzebub is going to have really picked up 1 plate, and has likely to get 2, but we got some really good spacing from Ezreal. Also, tech tips Syndrivus, Diana, go phase rush over electrocute and never die. You still win lane and keep yourself safe. I can kind of see that. I mean, like, especially, like, I would even take into the likes of, like, a Katarina as well as an Akali. Because you can kind of just, you just auto scatter the weak plus Q, and then, like, you can just run away with the trade. But Brewmaster's taking a lot of poke under this tower from Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's,
Oh, and that CS department is not looking good for him either.
It is what happens when you pick an AD top laner into an AD tank, unfortunately. You kind of just suffer here.
But there's going to be an engage coming in from Donovan onto the bot side. Therapy does connect the double ulti. Ezreal is kind of back so well. Level 6. Vayne's still level 5. Donovan also only level 5. Ulti's all available, but Augie having to back off. As now Sejuani is looking for the return. Leona does try going for the engage. Vizira is going to try and pursue more. Sejuani does drop the Glacial Prison. Does connect onto Vayne. Vayne has nowhere to go. Does have the flash, but not going to waste it there. As Conquest picks up the kill.
Very noble of 2Fly for you to sort of tank that Sejuani ult, keep their support alive. Unfortunately, it's at the cost of her life. And
yeah, as you know, see Cyberpunk is going to get flash forward. It's going to use Unstoppable Force to get out of there. As now Donovan's taking quite low, and it's going to have to be just sitting under this tower. Just tanking, trying to keep some of these minions alive, at least for the Vayne to pick up, but that CS lead is building, and Zero has got a 2-level lead already onto 2Fly. Ooh, but
yeah, it's
oh gosh, does look like he wants to go for it. Does have it. Oh, does just go wide. Oh, and it will connect. Zero unstoppable. 5-0 on this Ezreal. My word, this man.
Zero is not playing League right now. He's playing some kind of FPS and sort of lines that up and takes out the lower HP.
Yeah, as now General Conquest will just casually walk in, steals Herald. Very casual steal there from Oryx.
Sort of punish that, and 2Fly for you is going to have to leave. 2Fly for you is losing a lot of XP here. It's not that much of an issue. Vayne's a late carry.
Yeah, but do you see that? Oh no. Oh no. 2Fly has no ulti, has no way out, and Israel will just pick up another. That is just cyberbullying. As Diana is going to go in for the fight here. Does have Moonfall. No, doesn't have Moonfall. As it's going to force out the flash on the Syndra.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just a really unfortunate laning pick in this Vayne into the Ezreal Seraphine. Leona Vayne, in theory, really, really good. Lots of lockdown, lots of damage when that lockdown happens. However, in lane, if you can't land that lockdown, you end up in the situation they are now. 20 CS down and 6 kills as well. Almost, how much gold down? 2,400.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
collectively like
2,400.
4,000 already. Like that, Ezreal is like ahead by 2.5. Like it's quite a lot of gold. And now we see Donovan is gonna get caught out here in the pit. Does have the flash, can get out of the pit there. But Demon, they are gonna hard commit for this. The Seraphine only does go wide. Donovan and the Rammus do both have summoners, but they really are committing for this dragon here. As Malphite is gonna take on Jax, but Leona steals it again. Are you kidding me?
And Rammus survives. Rammus lives. Israel doesn't have ulti. Israel ulti's coming
Donovan!
in. Look at Israel. Stare at Israel. Israel has ulti in... Israel has ulti in 6 seconds. Maybe he gets a kill. No, he doesn't have time.
No time there, but what is the... Leona's the jungler. I'm convinced. Leona's the jungler now.
She is not just your tank, she is your jungler, bro.
Like, what is going on with these smites? I mean, like, General Conquest must have tried to smite a little bit early, but Leona really smurfing it up on these dragon steals. And it's definitely the last thing I was expecting from a Leona, actually.
Does glacial augment reduce smite damage? I don't think it does.
Surely it doesn't, but like
Surely it doesn't. But something's going on. She's killed 2 of them with her W.
yeah, I mean like every time she's gone in with a W, and then now that Malphite has already picked up the first tower in that top lane. 89 CS to 41 is very comfortably in the lead. Well, Commander Stark is in a bit of a dangerous spot. Your Scatter Weak does land. Malphite does not have the Unstoppable Force. We'll just chop the cheese, and he is out of there. God, I just love Malphite ganks, dude. Like if he doesn't have ulti, he just walks in the lane, chucks a cheese wheel at you, and then just leaves.
Just leaves, says, "Hey, you better not be laning when I come back."
It's like, I'm watching you.
Yeah, I'm watching you. Get out of here. Leona is
going in. What an absolute chat is trying to go ham. They Syndra will be getting caught out there in the moonfall. Commander Stark going to be able to pick up Syndra there. As now Donovan continue to go for this fight here. The Vayne does drop the ultimate. Cyberpunk will drop the ultimate there in the top, like taking down Jax. Commander Conquest going to try and lock down D-Man. Not going to be enough. It's Vayne desperately trying to get that last auto. Argy's going to try tank it. Ezra will drop the ulti. Will connect to Donovan as Argy then takes down Leona. As now they are going to hunt down Vayne. Vayne has nowhere to go. E forward from the Ezreal. 7-0 with this Essence Reaver. This is starting to look more like game 1.
You'd say that, but like mid lane is a very stable right now, and
yeah, I mean Donovan's looking very stable here in the mid lane.
Donovan's actually been playing insane. It's just really, really unfortunate because expecting a lot more damage that you're not going to get out of a Vayne early game. This is the way we expected it to go, though. You pick that Vayne, you're getting a lot of late game securance or insurance. So them early game is fine. Problem is they're losing early game into quite possibly one of the best mid gamers in the form of Israel.
Yeah, I mean like especially like now with the build that he's gone for is that very high damage build, high damage poke with the Essence Reaver. Could also be looking towards more of that Duskblade, like Ravenous Hydra, like that just pure cooldown reduction, just gonna spam Qs every half second and make your life a living nightmare. He actually tanks tower, bit of a ballsy move.
The difference is, regardless of how strong this Ezreal is, if Commander Stark is within 600, 800 units, almost guaranteed.
But Leona's absolutely chatting here. Wanted to steal away the blue from the Sejuani, but it's gonna get locked down as now Augie is going to be backing up the Sej. He's gonna use the boss gun the other way? This man is on another level. Where's this break power? And he's gonna go in for the engage there, and there's gonna be a TP. He's gonna stall, but now we're gonna see the immediate Moonfall coming in from the Diana into the Sejuani ultimate. Jax is gonna be there. Seraphine ulti will connect on 2-3. Augie is gonna be caught out by the Rammus. And looks like Demon picks that up. As Leona basically stalled. Leona played the stall game so well. And they were able to pick up a 1-for-1. 2-for-1 actually.
Donovan carrying this game to game 3, not letting anything else happen here, and manages to buy almost 20 to 30 seconds of time.
Yeah, I mean,
For the TPs to come
man, dude,
through
like,
and all that.
respect to Donovan. This man is a living legend.
And he did this all with a single Aegis.
Yeah, and this man, and now he's actually gonna be up top side. He's gonna be, actually, he's gonna try and hold the wave, but at the end, he's gonna be farming for himself. So Donovan really has decided, like, if you aren't carrying this game, I will.
Yeah, I'm carrying. I'm jungling. I'm team fighting. I'm doing everything. Oh, Rammus got hit, but it's fine.
Yeah, not too much damage taken by the Rammus is now. Cyberpunk gonna go on a Brewmaster, who it is going to be, it's Proteon versus the Divine Sunder, but there's also the Bramble Vest and Ninja Tarbai, or Bladed Steel Cap. My bad. As engaged now coming in from Leona. Leona just doesn't care. He's going. Jack's gonna go forward, but does not opt to go for the counter strike. The ult comes out from Beelzebub, but is going to merely flash away. As Leona's... Yeah, but Leona just baiting a lot of that damage out, but that is going to be the first dragon going over to Oryx, and unfortunately, no Leona to steal it this time.
Yeah, but Leona buys enough time for that Rift Herald to go down.
This is like, it feels like it's a completely different team.
8,000 gold. It's 8,000 gold in favor of ORX, but it's 2 drags in favor of MGC. And a Rift Herald.
Unstoppable forcible lockdown, Jax. Can't really go anywhere there. And yeah, like as you were saying, like it just seems like it's a lot more even this time around.
It looks like a losing game on gold, but in terms of map positioning, and the way this comp scales up into the late game when Diana can actually start skirmishing and fighting.
I mean, she is already like an absolute one-shot nightmare. Like, look at this Israel. Where's he gone? That's 1,000 gold for Commander Stark.
1,000 gold onto Commander Stark. The one person you don't want all that gold onto now just is 1,000 gold richer, and it's going to the bank with. She just came out of base, by the way. Commander Stark just came out of base.
She has the night off. She came out of base. She's sitting on 1,700 gold. She's just got the Nash's Tooth in base now.
Yeah, she just presses B right now, goes home, finishes Nash's Tooth.
I mean, I don't know. I don't particularly think that this Diana is going to be a huge issue for the likes of the Sejuani or the Malphite. I think they'll be able to deal with them in their own way just because of their raw tankiness. I mean, even some MR coming out from Sejuani already. But Ezreal, Seraphine, and Syndra, you gotta be careful. Because one Moonfall is all it takes and you're all dead.
And putting into context, I think
Shell.
Diana can actually beat the Sejuani in a...
Possibly.
5v5, yeah.
But now we are going to see Donovan is going to be going for the hard engage alongside D-Man. The Seraphine ulti will not connect despite running through Conquest. As that is 2 crucial ultimates burned. Leona... Well, no, wait. No, only 1 ultimate was burned there by Augie. As now Cyberpunk does have the Unstoppable Force, but might use it to go for the slightly tankier targets as Brewmaster wants to fight for this blue buff. Vayne is there as well. Malphite's going to see that Vayne. But now Leona... Really going for the engage onto Seraphine. It has a bone to pick with that lady. As the Cyberpunk runs away. But Donovan, he is not giving up without a fight, bro. He's going ham. He's going to go for re-engage. And the burst coming out from the Diana. Moonfall coming down, taking down Seraphine. The solar flare locked in. The taunt from the Rammus. As that is Jax taking down Malphite. Vayne is kiting this out so well. Gonna pick up another. D-Man's gonna hop away. But we actually get a pause.
Yep, DC General Conquest just left the game.
Alright. So we are gonna just hop into the just chatting just while we wait for this. I kind of scrolled through every screen except the just chatting screen. But so far this game, despite the gold being about just under a 10,000 gold lead, it seems still quite even. The Diana looking quite strong. Jax is gonna scale relatively good into the late game and just picked up a shutdown, may I add.
Yeah, but while all of that was happening, Syndra took the tier 2 bot lane, so a lot more pressure to win these skirmishes, but a lot less pressure because you have so much more gold to win these skirmishes.
Yeah, like I can definitely concur with that. It just doesn't seem like it's. It seems like it shouldn't be this close, but it
shouldn't
is.
It shouldn't be this close the way the draft sort of panned out and our concerns about draft. But we hyper-focused on bot lane and we forgot that a mid laner, this matchup Diana into Syndra exists.
I mean, I think in the beginning, we kind of had a feeling that if they put Commander Stark on something comfortable, he'd be able to do a lot more. As we are going to be already hopping back into game here.
As yeah, they're gonna lose the mid lane tier one of the most important turrets in the game.
As it's just a small pause. This just happens. This happens quite frequently. Just like after there's been a fairly frequent pause, you get a bit of a delay. But Jackson's picked up 2 shutdowns. That goalie's only about 6,000 now. And the map is fairly opened up. They got 2 charges on that Rift Herald. They're able to get it all the way onto that tier 2 and take it just around half.
What time are you on?
20, 54, 55, 56.
Okay, wait, just wait at 21:05.
21:05, alright.
Yeah. So I'll tell you when I catch up.
Okay, just let me know.
Almost there. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, there we go. So now, looking forward, Syndra has picked up a little bit of gold, so she is going to have that Ludens and is building into that Shadow Flame. But Diana already has 2 full items.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, and Israel is having a bit of a tight brawl with the red buff here.
Oh, Royal Rumble in the jungle. Israel almost got handed by a red buff. It's probably for the best, because if Donovan was there, then Israel just dies.
Yeah, Donovan was already there, man. Donovan is already out looking for blood.
Yeah, Donovan sensed it. That's why he was bot there. He didn't want to make it seem rigged.
Yeah, but so Syndra is gonna pick up the Hex Gate, so a bit of a cheeky one there, just to pop in, get some vision, and pop out. So
they have cleared some wards as well, as the next drag is almost up.
Oh, here's the 1v1 that we still not too sure about. Is the Diana up into the Mel fight? Bramble is picked up, and they're up in the Force of Nature, so I don't know who wins.
I rate Diana wins it. Just needs to proc her Conqueror. She does a surprising amount of damage. That's just one of the terrifying things about Diana. She will always surprise you with how much damage she does. She will always surprise you.
No, Oryx is going to get jumped in here by the Jax, but that's going to force out the Flash Gauge of Prison. Not going to connect, and that is a very big engage ultimate down. And with Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, it's a very crucial tool they could have to pick out a jungler.
Ezreal's going back, potentially looking for items, looking for wards. What does Ezreal buy out of this? Doesn't get anything. Walking up with Caulfields and 2 long swords drags up in 15 seconds.
Oh yeah, we're not going to look at Cyril's guys. Diana's already going for that one shot, but he's going to dodge the Moonfall. Oh no! The Malphite unstoppable is coming out. Oryx able to pick up that first kill. A lot of damage coming from Ezreal. The 3-man Terrafiend ultimate. Solar Flare will lock down Ezreal, but that's not going to be enough. Brewmaster is going to use the Grandmaster. The Grandmaster's Mipe is going to try to run away. We see D-Man trying to get that back line. Argy's doing taking a lot of damage, but Beelzebub's going to go for that Flash Gale of the Week. Going to pick up the Jax. And
2-2 Jax.
Yeah, what
really unfortunate series of events. Argy flashes the Commander Stark's ulti, and then Commander Stark just gets stunned, locked up, and just killed.
I think like once that was looking so good at the beginning. I know it's gonna fix it, but the Guy Adams, thank you so much for the follow, the Guy Adams. Really glad to have you here. But yeah, it looked good with the Diana able to get in, but a really crucial flash coming out from Argy. Kind of putting the Diana between a rock and a hard place, and by that hard place I mean Malphite.
Yeah, Malphite's in a little. Is it gonna start up the Baron?
Yeah, he just saw the Diana had no ulti, and he was just like, I'm a go. It's like I'm a go, bro. And it was over, and this gave them the pressure to go start up the Baron.
Spain is on their way to finishing their second item. Ezreal's almost on their third. I think actually finishes their third item on back.
Oh yeah, Serolda is now locked in. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage there on the Ezreal already. 2 Forces of Nature already picked up. These some really good itemization coming out from Sejuani and the Malphite.
In relation to Diana, but you have to remember that most of the damage that's going to come is from Jax, who is a mix of AP and AD damage.
And even the Rammus's damage is going to be... Rammus and Leona also do a lot of magic damage.
Yeah, but Rammus's main priority here is just to soak up autos. He needs to get on like a high prior target like the Ezreal for example, disable them for about a second and a half and let the rest of their team do it.
Luckily, no Leona to steal Baron Kappa. You
Yeah.
already know Donovan is too powerful for that. If he stole Baron, he'd be too powerful. They could look
make
for
the
an
game
engage here.
make the game fair as Rammus is
Big damage.
almost dead already.
And Malphite just went in, yoinked that tower, and then immediately turned around for that unstoppable force. Will lock down Brewmaster.
Yep. 3 levels up as well. Not looking good for the top lane. All hope for this game lies on Commander Stark's shoulders.
Yeah, he
Two
can
items.
look for the Moonfall here. They are relatively grouped up. He is seeing his name in lights here, but he's going to get immediately rooted up. Not going to be able to get too much over there, as Donovan could look for the engage there, but D-Man is going to try and taunt that Malphite into the tower, but he is a very tanky boy. Force of nature making him really fast. As now the owner goes in for that hard engage. The Diner does have the Moonfall, but is not able to drop it in time. Will mean to get absolutely deleted by Beelzebub. Vayne picks up the Seraphine, but that Donovan is getting run down. Zero will catch out 2Fly. As our Brewmaster is going to try and see if he can pick out at least one. But Oryx are opening up the base, and 2Fly has nowhere to go, as he's got only one more auto left. And Beelzebub, not Beelzebub, and we see that Zero picks up another 11 and 1 on this Ezreal. Vayne melt the enemy team.
Whoever it was in chat who said that your entire engage will get cucked by a single Syndra E, give him VIP, because that's how they lost this fight.
Yeah, the
goes
Syndra just dropped the scatter.
Moonfall was in the first stage of Moonfall, literally almost uninterruptible, and then got scattered out of it. So the Moonfall never fell, I guess.
Yeah. And I think the Vayne pick is just not reached the strength that they expected it to be. They wanted to shred. They've died. Does drop the Moonfall. They're not going to do too much damage. Their Cyberpunk is going to get caught out. He's going to die to the Ignite there. As Commander Stark and I want to look onto the re-engage. The E will go wide. D-Man is going to get stopped by the minions. As this is 3 inhibs down. What do you do in this scenario?
So the good news is you have unrestricted XP, you have all the gold in the world. The bad news is you're going to lose the game in the next 5 minutes if you make one misplay.
Yeah, and even saying just to note half of the damage done to Jax was Jax attacking Malphite and killing himself. Definitely want to say I'm not surprised. I mean, Malphite probably the most meta top laner right now. If you're playing top lane and you're not picking Malphite, what are you even doing? But Hide Your Brother is 2 for 2 now. Man is on a roll with these champs, with all these draft picks. Hot damn. You should be an analyst, bro. Like, actually could use an analyst. Could actually get an analyst. And yeah, D-Man's gonna get caught out now. Gonna have to use the ulti to hop out of there. Beelzebub does have the scatter of the week, but the slow from the ult will kind of delay them there.
As they're going to lose control of their bot side jungle, Malphite's going to encroach top side. Vayne, infamously one of the worst wave clearers in the game, is going to try and contest bot side a bit, but they're 2 levels down, almost 14,000 gold as well.
And
they're going to go back to the town.
They need a miracle. They need a miracle here with this Diana here. Can Diana get the big ulti there? Very low health bars, but Leon is going to be taking out Commander Stark. Is way too low to drop that Moonfall. He's going to get absolutely deleted by the Scatter of the Week. Triple kill coming out for Syndra. Vayne desperately uses the 900 to try and pick up some damage. Beelzebub just absolutely deleting everybody. And that is the ace for Frostfyre as they take game 2. And they are going to take the series.
Yep, really, really well played from Oryx Frostfyre. Very, very commanding control of the draft, very, very commanding control of the early game in both games in this series, and even greater execution towards these late game scenarios. I think they finished this game earlier than they finished the previous one, and the previous one is supposed to be the game where they run over everything. Overall, general conquest, unlucky smites, but I think genuinely their impact on the game, next to Zero's, made all the difference. Obviously, Beelzebub played amazingly. Argy played amazingly, and so did Cyberpunk. But special shout out goes to General Conquest and Zero in my mind.
Yeah, I think they definitely pulled the team together. There was a lot of hope in the second game for MGC, but at the end of the day, the scaling was all very much just in favor of the Syndra. It was able to just play the lane as calmly as possible, despite the Diana having a bit of a lead there. But at the end of the day, also Ezreal coming out on top, 11-1-8. looking very, very strong here with Frostfyre advancing forward. But yeah, so GG, well played to both teams. And thank from me at the casting desk, from myself, Justin. We got from our established guest. Sorry, I promise you, English is my first language. Yeah, but from me, from Rigger here, who came to join us. Have you got any last things you got to say?
Thanks for having me. Firstly, thanks for the amazing game, MGC and Oryx. And remember to drink some water tonight before you go to bed.
Yeah, make sure to hydrate, because one thing's for sure is chat. Make sure I hydrate. So now it's my job to make the rest of you hydrate. So for myself, I'll see you all in the next one, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a stacked week up ahead. Be sure to keep an eye on my socials for any of these next coming medal states as well as the NamLoL games. So from me, goodbye everybody, good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.